prawn toast toastie. Yes, it's basically a mashup between a toastie that we all love in my house and those beautiful prawn toasts that you get in a Chinese restaurant, right? And I've kind of adapted it, done my version, and you can do it in one pan. And my kids go mad for it. They love prawns at the moment. And it's just good to have fun with things you love in restaurants and try and find ways to get them to work at home. So let me show you. We've got some lovely uncooked prawns. I've got an egg, ginger, spring onions, some chili dipping sauce, bit of soy sauce. Bob's your uncle. Little bit of creativity, and let's do this. I've got a loaf of bread, get a serrated knife, and I like to use white bread because it's just very simple and spongy. Feel free to use a good soft wholemeal loaf. So slice it about 1 centimetre thick. So I want 4 slices, and I'm just gonna lay it out like that. Now the first job is to create the filling. So the filling is super simple. Take yourself 2 spring onions, just trim the ends off, and then just finely slice it. Super rustic. That's gonna give it a crunch and a nice kind of fragrance. Then we're gonna go in with some ginger. So just like a little 2 centimetre piece, just peel off the outside like that. I keep these trimmings, by the way. Just dry them, and they're wicked for making lovely cups of tea, or you can put them in broths and make lovely noodle broths and stuff. Slice it up. You can grate it if you want, and just run your knife through it so it's nice and fine. So fresh ginger, really good friends with the old spring onion. Then in with the prawns. These are raw, about 160 grams. What I look for is just nice, sustainable prawns. You can get the small ones, the big ones. Just pull 4 nice prawns aside, and I'll show you what to do with those later. And what we're gonna do with this is just slice it all up, any old how, it doesn't matter. And then bring it in to the ginger and the spring onions and chop it all together. So they kind of become one. And then I'm gonna make this amazing toastie. Now look, in a restaurant, they'd often deep fry these little bad boys. We're gonna do it in a pan. So it's gonna have good crisp, it's gonna be a little bit healthier. I want to taste the sweetness and the kind of taste of the sea from the prawns, right? So I don't wanna overwhelm it with big flavors. I'm gonna crack 1 egg and put the egg whites into this bowl, and that's gonna give us that amazing outside coating for the bread to make it stick to the sesame seeds, so you get that crunch, and so it's really, really golden and crisp. And then the yolk will go in the middle here. And just make the whole thing bind together. The only thing I wanna do now is just lightly season it with some soy sauce. Just a splash, about a teaspoon in there is lovely. Look at that. That's all you have to do for the filling. Super simple. Now, if you want to, you can spike this with some herbs. Just a little bit of coriander in here will be lovely. And again, just chop it through. And if you want to use mint or even different herbs, feel free to experiment and try. So look, next bit could not be easier. Take the bread and we're gonna fill it. So take half of that mix, put it onto the bread. In the restaurants, often they'll put it on the toast. And the difference for us is we're putting it in the toast to make it a toastie. In we go with the stuffing, really load it up. Look at that. Be nice and generous. Okay, so that's good to go. Then place this part on top, as you would any other toastie, right? But this is gonna be a toastie with a difference, because now we've done that, we're gonna go into the egg white. So get a fork and just beat up your egg whites so they're nice and loose, like that. And then get your bread, pop it 1 side on the egg whites, 2 sides on the egg whites, and almost like a French toast, this becomes a layer. It sucks into the bread. And then get your sesame seeds, and we're gonna cover it so it all sticks to it. 1 side, press it down, other side. Look at that. Come on. Excited yet? Press it down, and that will make the sesame seeds stick to the bread. And when we toast that, it'll go golden, crispy, and delicious. Let me just wash my hands. Time to get the pan on. I want to cook this on a medium heat. If it's too hot, it'll go black or golden too quickly. We want to cook and kind of steam the inside of that prawn filling. I'm gonna use a large non-stick pan, and then I wanna kind of posh it up a little bit. So I'm gonna take a little knife, take that little prawn, and simply cut it in half. And what I want to do is push this in to the actual bread, so the bread and the prawn become one. Oh yes, we're taking a toastie to another level. So, last prawn in half, on top like this. A little bit of oil on top, and pat those lovely prawns. Look at that. And then straight in to our pan, just like that. Super simple. You can hear it frying already. And let that do its work. About 3 minutes on each side until golden, crisp, and delicious. Okay, let me wash my hands. So, bouncing off that, I want something kind of cold and fresh. So let me show you how to make the most beautiful, quick cucumber pickle. I used to do these when I worked in Japan, and you'd have them with beers and things like that. They're really, really good. This is the kind of thing that I love having with things that are hot and a little bit spicy. It's gonna be crunchy and zingy. Season this generously with salt. A lot of this salt will go away, but just bear with me on that. And I'm gonna sweep all of this into here, and we'll massage these cucumbers with the salt. Starts to change the cucumber. It really starts to pull out the excess moisture from within, and then it makes it more flexible and also open to flavour. So I'll hit it up with just a little bit of chilli. So a little chilli goes in there. And then lime. Just give it a nice little roll to get the juices going. And squeeze that in. So tangy, crunchy, salty, and a little bit of spice. So mix that up, and the salt and the acid starts to change the cucumber. And now, let's check this beautiful prawn toastie. Get under there, have a flick. Hey! Golden and crisp. That's what we like. So press it down again. Look how crispy that is. So literally within 1 or 2 minutes, right? Can you see how the water has come out of this, right? So we can literally pour that water away, and we can get that pickle right in our hand and just kind of slowly scrunch it and squeeze out even more water. So that's where most of your salt's gonna go. And then get a little plate, and we just do a little pickle. That's how it used to look in Japan. You can do it with carrots, fennel, anything crunchy, radish, mooli, and it's just a really quick, immediate little pickle. And the idea is you just take a bit of that, have a cold beer. So that's fresh and zingy and crunchy with this, which is kind of rich, right? Prawns are kind of, they feel quite substantial when you have them. So look, that side has had 3 minutes. I'm just gonna go on the prawn side, just for 1 more minute to get it really perfectly golden, and then I'll serve it. And I'll tell you one thing, at the moment, because they're all into their prawns, if there's a whiff of these, they'll all come running, that's for sure. Come in, kids, I got prawns! Pops, I got your favourite, get over here. It's actually, like, unbelievable timing. Do you know the prawn toasties you get in the Chinese restaurants? So look, what I do is just slice it up like that. And then we got dipping sauce, I've got some nice little pickles. So, my lovely wife, take that over there without dropping it. Pops, you got pickles and you got crackers. See, that's what happens in families, isn't it? You make a load of food, then it disappears. Let's get amongst it. Oh God, I love it.